Can everybody, am I audible, colleagues?
You are, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Speaker.
You are audible.
Thank you. Colleagues, am I audible? Welcome, and
you are, Honorable Speaker.
as at last meeting,
You are audible.
which we held on the 2nd of September, am I audible? The order of the Constitutional Court regarding the local government elections was not yet out. We now know that the elections must take place on the 27th of October and the 1st of November 2021. I indicated during the meeting last week that if it is necessary, a special meeting will be called to consider the program, the amended program, in the event the Constitutional Court were to rule. Now, this meeting will consider the reviewed program. I've been briefed on the proposed amendments to the program, and I'm also informed that the Chief Whips Forum was also briefed this morning. So shortly, honorable members will look at those proposals with a view to adopt them. Now, I'm sure we all have the agenda before us. I'll start with apologies. Are there any apologies, honorable members?
Madam Speaker, Julius here. Honorable Mazzoni will be a bit late. She will join us in 10 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Honorable Julius.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Van der Merwe here. I'm just standing in for the Honorable Singh, who will also be a little bit late, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Van der Merwe.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
It's Wouter Wessels here. Good afternoon. Dr. Mulder will also be a little late.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So we have 3 apologies. The one, we know that Mr. Honorable Singh will join us later. Shall we then proceed, colleagues, to consider the matters arising out of the minutes? And I will then, because this is an extraordinary meeting really, I will then allow Mr. Klasso to take us through the matters arising out of the minutes of last week's meeting, which require our attention.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and good afternoon, honorable members. The issues that came up last week is the matter of the Section 25 committee. That committee, we are informed, will be able to finalize its work by the time its mandate comes to an end on Friday. The next point related to Judge President Shope. At the last meeting, Speaker was to refer the matter to the Justice Committee, and there was also a request for parties to be given copies of the correspondence, and there was also a matter about legal opinion on the voting procedure. The matter was indeed referred to the Portfolio Committee on Justice same day, and also made available to the political parties. The issue of opinion, the advice is still being worked on at this point. There was also the issue of the Green Paper on Social Security Reform, whether it had actually served before the Portfolio Committee. We can confirm that it didn't. Also, it's not the norm that Green Papers serve before committees, so that didn't serve before the committee. Madam Speaker, that is the issues that have been raised, and it is our understanding that members are okay with the minutes and that the minutes will be regarded as having been adopted. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Klasso. Honorable members, are we happy with the matters arising as presented by Mr. Klasso? So we have 3 matters. The Section 25 ad hoc committee, the Judge Shope matter, and then the Green Paper on Social Security Reform. Shall we start with the first one, colleagues? Ad hoc committee. Are there any observations members would like to make? Yes, Chief Whip of the majority party.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and good afternoon to all colleagues. Honorable Speaker, as per the report that the ad hoc committee will be done with the work as per the mandate, I suggest that we accept the report as it is, then we'll await for that work to be presented in the House. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip Machotina. Dr. Mulder?
Yes, thank you, Honourable Speaker. Good afternoon, colleagues. No, it's on the same point. As I've said, I've served on that committee. We adopted the ad hoc committee, did adopt the bill on Friday, and we meet on Wednesday to finalize the report and to adopt the report. My question is, do we have any indication of that will be completed or debated in Parliament before we rise on Friday this coming week, or should we expect it to stand over? If there's any indication, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Melda. Honorable Rakude, followed by Honorable Frolic.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to propose that we deal with the report can be tabled but be debated when we return in November. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. There's a proposal, Honorable Frolic.
Hello, good afternoon, Honourable Speaker, and good afternoon, colleagues. Just to say, Honourable Speaker, our priority, of course, is for this committee to meet the deadline, that is this week, so that they can report. The report will then be there, it will go on to the order paper, and then the decision must be taken as to when we will have time to discuss the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Frolic. Colleagues, there's the proposal. The committee has completed its work. It is ready to finalize the report, and the proposal is that we discuss the report when we return to Parliament after the elections. Is there anyone a contrary view to that?
Yes, Speaker.
Yes, ma'am.
I suggest that let us have the debate before we adjourn, because the land issue in South Africa is very critical, and you want to know what is the Parliament stand on the issue of land expropriation. So as EFF, we can go and campaign using that report and saying to people, you see, these political parties does not deserve your votes. So I suggest that let us deal with it before the adjournment of Parliament, Speaker.
Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Machotina, followed by Honorable Papo and Honorable Shakude.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support the two members, Honorable Shakude and Honorable Frolic, who said let's allow the report to be on the order paper, or to be ATC and be on the order paper. But let's not discuss the issue or the report now. We have a lot that is scheduled for this week. The EFF can use their own notes and that report, not based on the debate that has taken place. If they want to use the land issue to canvass, they can do that based on the ATC report, but not for us to rush that particular report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Machotina. Honorable Papo, followed by Honorable Natasha Mazzoni. Then the last is Honorable Mkalipi.
Speaker, my hand was up. Is Natasha Nhlangweni?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I will never be Mazzoni, Speaker. I'm Nhlangweni.
No, my sincere apologies.
Thank you, Speaker.
Your gadget just says Natasha's iPhone. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Thank you. Honorable Papo?
I think for the reasons which Member Mkalipi gave, there's no way we can have a debate. I mean, the purpose of why they say we should debate is not there. And as the Chief Whip says, they can use the report for their own thing. But to drag all political parties into that motivation, I think it's unfair. We'll debate it in November.
Thank you very much, Honorable Papo. Honorable Natasha.
Thank you very much, Speaker. And I don't blame you, Speaker. You will get used to it. And I will also add my surname to next to Natasha, but I'm Natasha Ntlangwini.
My sincere apologies. These two meetings, the past two meetings of the programming committee, you were not here. So I just know that there were apologies from Tlangwini. The name, I didn't know, it's Natasha. My sincere apologies, honorable member.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I think, ma'am, this issue of the land question and the report have been postponed numerous times, and it seems there's just a lack of seriousness from the committee chairperson to not let this report be discussed in Parliament, one. Two, we need this report to be discussed as an urgent matter, and to wait until November. It's another month of a delay for people to know whether they standing. Are we going to expropriate land without compensation or not? And it is a very urgent issue, Honorable Papo, that our communities out there don't know where they are standing, and they need the land back as a matter of urgency. So we see this question of the land issue as an urgent matter as the EFF that needs to be discussed and to be forever postponing it, because we had to postpone this issue last year because of COVID, which was very understandable because of the pandemic. So we can't forever, as this programming committee, forever seek to postpone this issue to be discussed. There must be a way that this thing must be on the order paper to be discussed as a matter of urgency, or forever postpone it. What are we saying to the normal South Africans out there? Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tlangwini. The next speaker on the list is Honorable Zakude, followed by Honorable Mukalipi, Honorable Frolic, and Honorable Papo. I hope that will be my last speaker on the matter so that we make progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the report that we got is that the committee will be ready to table the report in the House on Friday. That's the report that we got. And we know and understand the sensitivity of the land issue. So we don't want to make to rush it, Honorable Speaker. On Friday we will have from tomorrow until Friday. The program of Parliament is full due to the fact that we will be rising. This is our last week in Parliament. So what we are suggesting, Honorable Speaker, is that the report be given enough time and be debated when we return in November. So an ATC, the report is a public document. Any political party can use it. Whoever wants to use the report for their own campaigns, they can use it. They can articulate their stance with the electorate. So we cannot we cannot be rushed into dealing with this for such a short space of time. We need enough time. It will be programmed in November, and it will be debated for all South Africans to hear what is contained in the report. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Shakute. Honorable Mkalipi.
Speaker, we have adjusted the program of Parliament after the Concord have pronounced on the issue of elections. And if you remember very well, we debated this matter when all political parties said this matter of land expropriation must be brought forward. As a result, we had a compromise date, which is September 10. So therefore, it means that when we agreed as political parties about this member, as a result of a compromise position to come with a date, because some of the political parties wanted this matter or they wanted the ad hoc committee deadline to be shifted. So it means that the report is ready. So the second point that I want to raise is that we have adjusted. That's why in the Chiefs Forum, we have got a program that suggests that we can squeeze all important matters. The issue of land is very important. It can't be that we must use our notes. We must use the debate that has been watched by all South Africans in the parliament. Is their right to know what matters are being debated in the South African parliament. If we are very serious about addressing the matter that affects South Africans, we can surely get a slot to deal with this report. Saying here, this matter can be deferred until November, we are against that motion because some of the matters that has been adjusted and then put on the program. So what is so difficult to put this matter in the program within this period as we have agreed in the Chiefs Forum? Definitely sure we need to expose some of the sell-out positions here. That's why our people are still lavishing in poverty because you as parliament, you don't want to address the issue of land since 1652. So it's high time people of South Africa must know what is the position of each and every political party in South Africa. So we are suggesting as the EFF that this issue must be integrated in this program that Parliament is going to pass now. I submit, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mkalipi. That was a mouthful. Allow me to recognize Honorable Papo, followed by Honorable Mazoni.
Yes, I wanted to speak after before Chair of Chairs. I think it's there's a confusion. The report will be tabled, the issues, the debate, and I don't think the EFF is going to convince us about the people about it being debated and the reasons they are offering. They were also not even in the meeting on Friday when the bill was adopted. So the agency, I don't understand. So I think there's the difference. They think it should be debated. Other members of the committee are saying it should be tabled and debated in November. So the two are not the same. One is on ATC, is a public document. So anybody can actually use it. Maybe at the end, there have to be a ruling made because that thing that it must be debated and everything else shifted. And the reasons they gave are not substantial enough. Because after the adoption of the bill, you still need an expropriation act. You cannot expropriate land after adopting a bill. You still need an expropriation bill act, which is still being processed. So this thing that immediately after the debate, we're going to expropriate land, it's not correct. Thanks.
Speaker, can I call an order here?
An order? Yes.
Yes, Speaker. So yes. I want to make it very clear to Honorable Papo. So he must not come here and then claim that EFF was not in the meeting. Surely we have our reasons why we didn't attend the meeting. And it can't be because we are also members of this programming committee. It does not matter if we did attend that committee or not. It does not mean that we must not talk here on the programming committee. So it's very not genuine for him to come here and want to deal with us saying that we didn't attend the meeting. If we didn't attend the meeting, surely there was a specific reason. No, he must not come here and dictate on us how to conduct ourselves as EFF. Thanks, Speaker.
Point made, Honorable Mkalipi. And I'm sure there would have been an apology. So allow me to proceed, colleagues, and recognize Honorable Mazoni then Honorable Julius, and lastly, and that will be the final speaker, Honorable Frolick on this matter. That will be the last speaker.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in actual fact, I'm in full agreement with Honourable Papo, so I don't think that there needs to be an apology. And I think that it's quite clear that this is a meeting that's followed by the media and it's being used as a platform for purposes other than that of simply discussing the programme. And I think that that is the item that is disingenuous here, if there is anything that is disingenuous at all. It is in fact quite correct that you cannot expropriate land once we've passed the report in the House. That's not the way Parliament works. So may I suggest that members, especially whips of committees, go and read the rules book and make sure they know how bills are passed and exactly what happens if a report of Parliament goes through before they come to a programming committee meeting that we know is attended by the media and attempt a very thinly veiled and poor attempt, may I add, at electioneering, because that is exactly what is happening, and it's an embarrassment to the programming committee and it's an embarrassment to Parliament. Now, the fact of the matter is we have a program that we've spoken about this morning and that has to be adopted. We're going into a period of elections, and once we get back from that period of elections, the start of processing an act, should that be what the committee recommends, is what will happen. So having this entire discussion, Madam Speaker, in my opinion, is nothing more than wasting your time, wasting my time, and a very thinly veiled election ploy. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much.
What a waste.
Who's that now? I didn't recognize you. Who's that?
It's one of the rude members of the EFF who always
but
interrupts,
Madam Speaker, you have to protect us. We can't be told by the dropout as a lawyer telling us that we have not read the rules. No, we can't. No, what? No, what? We can't be told by a dropout who called herself as a lawyer. And then you just come here and tell us that we didn't read the rules. We are not here on the DAT kids here. So we are respecting you, Speaker, but we can't be undermined by the dropout here.
Honorable members, okay, Honorable Mhlakalipi, I said earlier on you have made your point. Honorable Mazoni as well did express the feelings and the views of the Democratic Alliance. Can we please make sure that we are tolerant to one another's views? I now recognize Honorable Julius and the last speaker, and I'm not going to allow any other person to speak on this matter now, will be Honorable Frolick. Honorable Julius.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. No, it's on another matter on the program, so
Can we finish this matter?
Yes, I'll come later, thanks.
Colleagues, I would like to remind all of us that this issue is a very sensitive issue. It has a potential of raising people's tempers, people's emotions. However, we must be responsible in the manner in which we handle it, because we all have constituencies and our constituencies will be interested, of course, in how we deal with the matter, but in doing so, we must not do it in a reckless manner. So I want to invite you, Honorable Frolick, to come in, because I'm going
thank you.
It's because this is now, there are two point of views here which have been expressed, and I'm getting a sense that we're beginning to have a dialogue on the matter, and I don't think it is proper. Honorable Frolick?
No, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'll be very brief. Just to say that the Honorable Mulder made a point right at the beginning to say that the report has not been adopted yet. So there's no report that has appeared on the ATC or elsewhere. They dealt in terms of the amendment, the legislation, etc. And it is envisaged that I will receive a request for a meeting of this committee, as correctly stated by the Honorable Mulder, to meet on Wednesday. Now, on Wednesday, Speaker, there's something when it comes to bills, is that there is also a quality assurance process that kicks in. After the committee has adopted the report or the legislation, then there's a quality assurance process that kicks in. And then after we are satisfied that it is the correct recording of what transpired in that meeting, then we proceed to have it published in the ATC. And once the report in the bill is then published in the ATC, Honourable Speaker, there's something called a 3-day rule. Now that 3-day rule, when we come to sensitive issues like this, it's not recommendable to suspend this 3-day rule, because the practice has been is that parties must be allowed the opportunity to properly prepare in terms of the published papers that are there. Those papers have not been published, Honourable Speaker, and I only envisage that those papers will probably be published by Friday. Thank you very much. I may add there's thus no reasonable prospect to have a debate on papers that will be published on Friday morning, only because the 3-day rule will have to kick in.
I thank you, Honorable Frolik, for providing clarity on the matter. I think that there is no need for me to summarize the issue. I think the matters as presented by Honorable Frolik should be accepted by the committee. I plead with all of us to do that. Because if we, as I said earlier on, if we are going to jump and not follow all the processes necessary, we are going to commit serious mistakes, and even the good intention that has been expressed of constituencies being aware of what it is that we are doing on the issue of land, I can assure you it will not be appreciated if somebody challenges the fact that we've come out and we are debating and we have not as yet concluded, without concluding the necessary processes of such as your adoption of the report by the committee, your quality assurance, and eventually placing this matter on the ATC. So I'm making a plea to all of us that on this note, the note that has been presented by Honorable Frolik, that we close this matter. Now, having been agreed that we close the matter, we now proceed to deal with the matter of the Judge President Hlophe as presented by Mr. Kaso. Honorable members, are there any comments on the matter? Honorable Majotina.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, based on what Mr. Klaus has said, let's follow the processes that the matter has been referred accordingly to the Portfolio Committee on Justice, and the Portfolio Committee on Justice is getting a legal opinion. So there's no point for us to discuss the matter right now. Let's accept the processes as outlined by Mr. Klaus. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip of the Majority Party. Honorable Mkalipi.
Just a clarity-seeking question, Speaker.
Yes.
I'm sure when the programming whip is going to present a program, is going to clarify the issue that we have raised in the Chiefs Forum regards to sitting of committees. I'm asking in connection with this matter of Judge Hlophe, and we have, we got a guidance in this meeting that the matter has been referred to that particular committee, which is Justice Committee. So therefore, I just want to understand if the matter is going to be dealt with now or after the recess. But we must also register our position as EFF that you are going to defend our own. He is a black judge whom we do understand that he is being persecuted under the white arrogancy of the judiciary in this country. So I just want to get that clarity, and also to make it very known the position of the EFF in this regard.
Honorable Mkalipi, yes, you have made your point. However, I should say this, that this is not the forum for that now. The matter is yet to be discussed by the Justice Committee, and I am sure in which you are represented. So there will be an opportunity for people to express themselves on the matter. I will not entertain a discussion on this matter here at the Programming Committee. I mean, in terms of its politics, I don't intend to do that. I would rather we focus on the Programming Committee right now and agree on how we proceed. As far as I'm concerned, we have proceeded by way of referring this to the Justice Committee. And of course, there's a matter which was also expressed, which has been raised by Mr. Klaso, that of course the Speaker is expected to seek legal opinion regarding the vote for voting purposes. So it regards the discretion of the Speaker for voting purposes on this matter. Shall we then agree that that is the route we are taking, and that because we are closing, Parliament is rising on Friday, that there are matters which we will not be able to deal with, such as the first matter which we dealt with, and that is the Section 25 ad hoc committee. So this matter as well is quite a substantive matter which requires full attention of the Justice and Correctional Committee, and therefore this too is a matter which should wait until we come back after the elections. Is that agreed, honorable members? I am sure you agree with that. Substantive matters should be given time and should be discussed in appropriate fora so that all of us at the end of it all, we are satisfied about the manner in which we have handled issues of this nature. Now, I see that there are two, I was trying to summarize in my view. I see there are two hands, the hand of Honorable Mulder and the hand of the Deputy Speaker.
Honourable Chairperson, yes, I absolutely agree with what you have said, and I agree with your ruling in terms of this. However, I'm of the view that this platform should not allow this kind of racist utterances. It's
on a point of order, Speaker.
Racist.
On a point of order, Speaker.
Racist and out
on a
of
point of order, Speaker.
Melda,
on a point of order, Speaker.
Honorable Melda, can you please withdraw that? Please withdraw that, because there is nothing.
Withdraw what, ma'am?
That this which is being said is racist.
To say that the judge is being persecuted because he's black by white people is not racist. Is that what you're saying?
On a point of order.
Honorable Melda. Honorable Melda.
I'm listening.
I'm pleading with you with due respect that please just remove or withdraw the term racist. You know that it is not used. If it is not used in the National Assembly, I cannot allow it to be used in this forum of the programming committee, because it is likely to divert us and we'll be fighting unnecessarily. Can you please withdraw that? Withdraw that it is racist. You can express your views about how you disagree with the member who raised this matter, but do not use the term racist, because in terms of the do's and don'ts of Parliament, it is not allowed to say a member is making a racist statement.
Honourable Speaker, I'm sorry to say, but I differ with you. There's no opportunity and any possibility that I can withdraw that statement. To make that kind of statement is a racist statement. I've not said that the member is a racist. I say the statement is a racist statement.
On a point of order. Speak.
But Honourable Member, Honourable Melda, you know, and I think most of us, we've learned from you in Parliament here, that it is not correct to make that kind of statement. You may disagree with the manner in which the issue is raised. You may sit there and view the statement as racist, but racism and racist and all of that which relates to that is something which is not allowed here in Parliament. And I'm assuming, even though this is my third programming committee, that it is not acceptable even in this forum. Because if you see, if we say, for instance, an honorable member is racist, right? It is wrong. It is unparliamentary. But equally, when you say a member makes a racist statement, to me, it suggests that the member is racist. I will not insist on you withdrawing the matter, the issue, but I would have preferred that we do not have that tone. And maybe because you are saying you will not withdraw, it's a matter I need to apply my mind to and seek advice of the table to assist me on that matter. I'm not going to allow for a situation where we find ourselves in a situation where we're going to be fighting around such issues. So shall we then agree that we are saying we are not withdrawing the matter, but I am not agreeing with you, and therefore allow me to come back and talk to the issue? It's an observation which I am making. I am saying if it is not allowed in Parliament, such statements which contain anything that suggests racist or racism, if it is not allowed there, I would expect that even here in the programming committee, honorable members will conduct themselves in a manner such that we do not get to a point where we use such language. I think that's the point I'm trying to raise. I now proceed and I invite Honorable Swartz.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you, colleagues. I would also ask you, Speaker, to consider the statement made by the EFF members on the platform relating to the Schlopper matter and whether that is acceptable or not, as well as you apply your mind to this issue. Thank you so much, Speaker.
Honorable Swart, as far as I'm concerned, that issue has not been raised at all, because I think I did say earlier on that, in fact, that matter should not have even arisen, because we are saying this matter has gone to the committee, it will receive the attention of the committee, and once it has received the attention of the committee, the matter will then be tabled to Parliament. So in other words, I am assuming that honorable members understood me when I said Honorable Mkhaliphi shouldn't have even raised the matter, and therefore suggesting that that statement has not been put on the table yet in this meeting right now, because it is not an appropriate matter, appropriate forum for that kind of discussion. I've ruled on the matter, and I now proceed to recognize Honorable, I'm sorry, Honorable Member, you have your hand, Honorable, I'm really.
Julius.
Before you, Honorable, there's an Honorable Member from the Freedom Front. I'm really sorry that I will soon know your name.
No problem, Honourable Speaker. It's voter vessels, voters such as someone who votes in an election. So it's easy actually to pronounce, although it's not spelled like that. But like a voter in an election, V-O-T-E-R. You pronounce my name like that. Thank you, Madam Speaker. No, not to disregard your ruling, but I do want to say with respect that when we say that we should act parliamentary in all forums of Parliament, words do have meaning, and words can also be ruled as not being parliamentary. The statement made, even if you ruled that the matter should not have been raised at all and it wasn't the forum for the matter, the words that were used
on a point of
by
order,
the honourable member was not parliamentary. And if we say that you cannot call another member a racist, there is a platform to say that certain words.
I recognize point of order.
On a point of order, Speaker. You know, Honourable Speaker, this is because it's unbecoming of these members what they are doing to all of your rulings. You have made a ruling. You have even said the time that Honourable Mkhaliphi have spoken, you said this matter shouldn't have been discussed. You have given us the reasons. You have paved a way forward. They ignored that. They simply ignored that. The Honourable that came in, he wants to discuss the matter that you said it mustn't be discussed after you have made a ruling. What such undermining is this to your rulings? You have made a ruling. You have even now subsequent made another ruling to say that you will investigate the situation that is happening on what Honourable Mulder have said. They still don't feel satisfied, the honorable voter and the honorable Swans still don't feel satisfied about it. They still want another. It must not continue. This such undermining towards your office and towards this platform must not be allowed. You have made a ruling. They must stick to it.
Thank you, Honorable Tlangwini. Rulings having been made in relation to the statement which was made by Honorable Mkalipi, I really plead with honorable members to close this matter at this point. I don't think, honorable members, it is proper that we in the programming committee tend to consist of very senior people in the parties. So I'm assuming that all of you have been mandated to come and represent your parties in the programming committee, and that you are senior enough to appreciate that once a ruling has been made on a matter, that we do not pursue that matter. Honorable Schulz.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yeah, I'm on another matter.
You're not taking me back to this, eh?
No, I'm on another matter, Madam Speaker, although I have my own feelings not to mollycoddle the EFF, at your beginning. I'm very surprised that the EFF is now respecting rules of parliament, telling other members.
Speaker, again, this meeting is not about EFF, we're not Julius. Please.
Member, please, Honorable Julius, now you are creating chaos in my meeting, and I will not accept that. Program.
My apologies.
For me, it's a very important forum, colleagues, which all of us must respect. Thank you.
My apologies,
Thank you for
Speaker, but I just wanted to express that I'm not afraid of them. But,
No,
Madam Speaker,
you see now that's how you treat women in your political party. You undermine the speaker just here.
Honorable Mkalipi, all right. Honorable Julius, you said you are withdrawing and now you are continuing. Yes. Please, ma'am. Can you express yourself? What is it that you wanted to say? Because that
Madam Speaker, this morning I mentioned something in the Chief of Forum, but it didn't come up as a matter arising. But I think it's very important to mention it here now so that we can just have it properly on the program. The Deputy President, obviously we don't have time for the questions to Deputy President, but I also noticed the proposed program for the second term, there's no appearance of the Deputy President. So my formal one was to say maybe this Friday we can have it after the plenary, maybe 2 o'clock. But I note that there might be challenges with that availability of the Deputy President and the questions also. Can I then formally propose that we have it, the Deputy President, to answer questions in the House on the 4th of November? And I'm mentioning it now, Speaker, so that work can start to maybe liaise with the office, your office, with the office of the Deputy President, so that we can have it on the 4th of November. I think it's very, very important that we do have the Deputy President. He must appear every term in Parliament. It's understandable in this term, with the elections and everything. It's not, maybe not feasible to have it now. The second point, Madam Speaker, I just need assurance again from Mr. Kaso that clarity will be sent to us in terms of exactly what will be on the program for Friday in terms of legislation, statutory appointments, and committee reports.
Thank you
for
very
Friday.
much.
He said that they will send it to us later today. I just wanted the assurance.
On a point of order, please, Speaker.
Yes, on a
point of order, Speaker.
Yes,
point of order says that. The point of order, Speaker, is there is item number 4, where a proposed revised draft program is going to be tabled. Let Honorable JJ await for that particular item. Then he can bring all other things.
Thank you very much.
Can we be procedure?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip of the Majority Party. Those issues having been raised will then, Honorable Mr. Klaso will respond to those when we get to item number 4. It seems to me we're done with the first and the second items in terms of matters arising from the minutes. And the last one is the green paper.
Madam Speaker, that was just for noting. We were asked to check whether, we were asked to check whether the green paper had been tabled, and we'll check that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Klaso. I now proceed to deal with the actual revised draft program. Honorable Klaso and Honorable Lisuma, the two are going to present the revised draft program, and I would want you to also respond to the issues which have been raised by the Honorable Jules. I see the majority, the chief whip of the Majority Party calls him JJ. So the Honorable JJ.
Madam Speaker, I propose to first speak to the notes, just for the sake of the members who would not have been part of the Chief Whip's forum this morning, to give the context. The first part of the notes deals with the background. And here I would just like to start at point number 3, that deals with the budgetary review and recommendation reports, that annually Parliament is supposed to undertake this exercise through its committees, which is meant to assess departmental performance. For Parliament to do this, it needs, among other things, the annual reports of departments, as well as the financial statements. And this is usually done in October. Now, in terms of the Act, this assessment must be done and finalized before the House adopts the MTBPS instruments. Now, and therefore, the annual reports become important for the committees to undertake this exercise. Now, in July this year, the Auditor General had submitted a letter informing Parliament about a delay in the completion of the 2020 audit cycle of auditees. And therefore, the implication of this is that there may be delays in the submission of annual reports by departments. Now, the Speaker has written to the Leader of Government Business to ask for the reports to be tabled as soon as possible. But of course, this happened before the Constitutional Court came out with the order on elections. So that now we know what the Constitutional Court is saying about the elections. It will be our advice that a letter is addressed again to the executive to give specific dates by when the annual reports should be submitted, apart from the date that is prescribed in legislation. So those that are late, a date will be given that by this date, these annual reports must be submitted to enable committees of Parliament to undertake their oversight exercise. In terms of paragraph B, the programming whip will go in details when she presents the program, but the essence of this is that the proposal is to have the sittings of the House until this coming Friday, and that priority be given to legislation and statutory appointments / statutory obligations. I'm adding that because it may not always be appointments. It could be to do, for instance, with the Financial and Fiscal Commission salaries, but that's still a statutory requirement on the part of Parliament. So that those will be prioritized. And that the proposal is for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to start at 10 o'clock sittings and to deal with the issues. We have gone through the order paper and we have identified basically there are 3 issues that are on the order paper, categories of issues. It's legislation, it's statutory appointments, it's committee reports. Priority is being given to legislation and statutory obligations, and of course, committee reports that need to be dealt with. Currently, there are 3 bills, and those bills have been scheduled for consideration by the House this week, already on the order paper. But there are other bills, 3 bills that are currently before the Justice Committee to do with GBV. 2 of them is the Domestic Violence Bill, and the other is Sexual Offences Bill. And there is another bill, it's I think it's Criminal Amendment Procedure Bill that is before the Justice Committee. That one will be coming for second reading by the House. The name of the bill is Criminal Procedure Amendment Bill. Yes, it will come for second reading by the House on Friday. And of course, the program will propose that the constituency period must start on 13th of September until 1st of November, and that BRR's, this budgetary review and recommendation reports must be dealt with in November. Paragraph C, Madam Speaker, indicates the date that we have for the submission of the or tabling of the MTBPS in Parliament, and there's a proposal for the 9th to the 19th of November to be set aside for BRRs, but specifically we're proposing that 1 week of those 2 weeks be a dedicated week for committees to do the BRRs, and that these BRRs be dealt with by the House, the reports from the committees be dealt with by the House on the 23rd of November or soon thereafter. But the point to underline here is that they must be dealt with before the House expresses itself on the MTBPS instruments, including the Adjustments Appropriation Bill, and that the MTBPS be dealt with on the 2nd of December, and that on the 10th of December the House adjourns. Now, in regard to the issue of questions, if I may just answer specifically, the program committee obviously must still finalize the matter. A proposal has been made for the 4th term, but the way this thing works with questions to the President and Deputy President, there is a consultative exercise between Parliament and those offices. And once that process has been undertaken, a date will be confirmed. We have the Councillor to the Deputy President as part of the program committee, and as he always does, he will advise the program committee in terms of when the Deputy President will be able to come to answer questions. But we must make the point that there was a date confirmed, and it was the 22nd of September. It's simply being affected by what is going on currently in terms of the amendments to the program. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think, with your permission, ma'am, the programming whip would like to deal with the detail of the program.
Thank you very much, programming whip, Lisuma.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and good afternoon, colleagues. We will start with today's Honorable Chair in terms of the program, which is Monday, which we held a special Chief Whips Forum, and now we're at a special programming committee. I will then go to the 7th, which is Tuesday. At 10 tomorrow morning, there will be committee meetings as usual. Between 12:45 and 13:45, ICT focus group meeting, and then at 14 hours and 17 hours, we will have a hybrid plenary session, which the first item would be member statements. Second item would be consideration of report of the SC on finance, on financial sector laws amendment bill, followed by the second reading of the financial sector laws amendment bill. The fourth point will be consideration of the report of PC on education on second quarterly report on performance of Department of Basic Education in meeting its predetermined objectives. The fifth item will be the consideration of the PC on education as well, on oversight visit to Gauteng Province, Ekurhuleni to be specific, Ekurhuleni North Education Districts, KwaZulu-Natal Province to be specific, Mzimkhulu and Ekoko Education District, and Eastern Cape Province, Ematatiele and Mount Fletcher Education District areas. Then the sixth point will be motions without notice, followed by the notices of motion. Tuesday, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. Then now we're dealing with Wednesday, which is the 8th of September in the morning, as indicated in our speaker's note presented by Mr. Kaso. At 10 to 12 will be plenary hybrid. First item on the order paper will be consideration of report of the Portfolio Committee on Police on appointment and introduction of forensics oversight and ethics board. Second item will be the consideration of the same portfolio committee, which is police, on interview panel on interviews for candidates for critical infrastructure council on 8 to 10 of June 2021. The third item on the order paper will be consideration of report of the portfolio committee of police, still on petition on Mrs. Nika Kinner on the death of her husband, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Canal, which will be looked at considered by the House. And between 12:45 and 14:45 will be a joint committee of the chairs of committees chaired by chairs of chairs. Then we'll have a break, and then the House will reassemble at 15 hours. Between 15 hours and 18 hours will be plenary, which will be dealing with cluster 4 economics questions for oral replies. And the following day, which is Thursday, the 9th of September, Honorable Speaker, at 9 o'clock in the morning, as usual, we'll have our joint programming committee on visual, followed by at 10 o'clock, a plenary hybrid sitting. First item on the order paper will be condolences for the following. May their souls rest in peace. Honorable Tongwane, and Honorable Kenzi, Honorable Malulega, and Honorable Chaisa, and Honorable Numalo, may their souls rest in peace. These condolences will be at max at 3 hours and plus half an hour, 15 minutes. So after that, it will be followed by the considerations of the reports as the speaking notes alluded, presented by Mr. Klaso, which will be the consideration of requests for permission in terms of Rule 286 of 4C to inquire into amending other provisions of Sectional Titles Act of 1986 from the Committee of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development and Social Titles, Sectional Titles Deeds Bill. That item will be the consideration of the report of Portfolio Committee on Employment and Labor on Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Diseases Amendment Bill, followed by the second reading thereof of the Compensation for Occupational Injuries and Disease Amendment Bill. The fifth point, Honorable Speaker, will be consideration of the report on Portfolio Committee on Employment and Labor on Employment Equity Amendment Bill, and the second reading thereof, which is this item on the Employment Equity Amendment Bill. On Friday, which is our last day, in the morning, there will be a hybrid plenary sitting. The first item on the order paper will be the consideration of report on Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services on Criminal Procedure Amendment Bill, followed by the second reading thereof of the Criminal Procedure Amendment Bill. The third point will be consideration of criminal law on sexual offenses and related matters Amendment Act Amendment Bill. On the report of the Portfolio Committee of Justice and Correctional Services on amendment proposed by the National Council of Provinces. The fourth point will be consideration of Domestic Violence Amendment Bill and a report of the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services on amendment proposed bill by the National Council of Provinces. As the speaking notes was alluding that even in the Chief Whips Forum, that will be prioritized those legislations, and also those ones have got the predetermined by the courts the guidelines of the statutory appointments and related matters, and prioritized committees. The fifth point, Honorable Speaker, will be then the consideration of the report of Standing Committee on Finance on draft notice determining remuneration of salaries of financial and fiscal commissioners. And the last point will be the committee's report, which are still going to be populated. The report, the program, Honorable Speaker, members, ends there. And through if you allow, if there are any omissions, or then you will allow Mr. Klaso to assist in that regard. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
I thank you, Mr. Tasso and Honorable Member Lesoma. Honorable members, I see Honorable Tlangwini and Honorable Papu have been having their hands up. I suspect it's the initial hands. You did not drop them. Okay, now I see Honorable Papu is raising his hand. Yes, Honorable Papu. Honorable Papu. Honorable Papu. Honorable Class, Honorable Frolic.
Hi, Steve. Very well. I'm already here as well. No, please, it's Steve this side as well.
No.
Yeah. Can I look? It's an incredibly busy week this week, but I also need to clarify.
Please, Honorable Member, mute. Okay. Honorable Frolic.
No, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the changes in the program has now impact on the work of committees and approved programs of committees. And I fully understand the reason why we're doing so. But I want to make a request, Speaker, that as from Wednesday, that we do allow the following committees to continue with their meetings. That will be the Section 25 committee, of course, who must still adopt their report. And then also the Committee on Appropriations. That Committee on Appropriations is dealing with a very, very important matter. And they have certain timeframes that must be observed. The Standing Committee on Appropriations and also later then the Select Committee in the NCOP must finalize the second Special Appropriations Bill. This is critical for government to intervene on the social and economic effect on the July unrest. And it will be impossible to really push that committee onto the back burner. So that is the submission I want to make, Honorable Speaker, as well as the Health Committee, who's dealing with the NHI. They did have a program, or do have a program on public hearings for this week. If we can allow them to proceed and to conclude this phase of the public hearings. And if there's any other matter that will arise during the constituencies period, it will really be issues that cannot be delayed until a later stage, Honorable Speaker. So that is my submission that I want to make to the programming committee meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Frolic. I see that the Honorable Machotina would like to speak, and then Mr. Tasso, you will come in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in accepting this revised program, I want to respond to what Honorable Khalid raised earlier on. Our committee is going to be allowed to do their committee work. The response is no and yes. The no part is that no oversight visits will be approved. No ordinary committee meetings will be approved. The only meeting that may sit could be those meetings that were constitutionally bound to have met a particular deadline, which the Office of the Chair of Chairs will be looking at and leave to those. Otherwise, we're suspending the programs until 1st of November, including, for that matter, the Committee on Justice, specifically on the Western Cape JP. Let it stand over, and we can only allow those matters that are extremely urgent that might compromise Parliament. Thank you. On the issue of the Deputy President, we agreed that let's prioritize the questions to DP to have a slot in November 2021 when we come back. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Mr. Tasso.
Madam Speaker, just in relation to Friday, we are in the process of populating the Friday agenda. And by the time we send out this program to the honorable members, Friday there will be a clearer time of adjournment for Friday. And that will be today still. Secondly, Madam Speaker, the Joint Program Committee, we must still confirm it's taking place on Thursday with the NCOP, whether it will indeed happen on Thursday at 9 o'clock. Even that will be confirmed, maybe latest, that will be confirmed tomorrow. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kaso, the Joint Programming Committee. Let us note that. But also one of the things I would like to request all of you, Mr. Kaso, and team to do is to populate that as quickly as possible so that people are aware of exactly what time we will adjourn session, so that people can, those who are leaving can book their flights. And there are very few flights now, very limited. So the tendency is for people to get stuck when they could have traveled home. So as a person who's I think grown in Parliament and has had children, when I came in, I was a woman of childbearing age. So I know what it means when it is time for people to leave and go back home. I know what it means to be stuck at the airport. So I'm just saying, if we could allow for members to know in good time so that they can prepare themselves for their departure. Honorable members, is there any other matter? In my view, the matter which was raised here by Honorable Jules, on the questions, it has been responded to, the questions to the Deputy President. It seems to me we are okay with regards to that. Any other matter? Any other issues before I close the meeting? Okay, it seems there are none. Honorable members, then on that note, the meeting is adjourned until next
Honorable
time.
Speaker.
Yes.
It was a bit of a whirlwind, but you managed it as a soldier yourself. It was a whirlwind at the beginning, but I know you can put us in order. I know.
Thank you very much, Honorable Papo. I hope it doesn't suggest that I suppressed people. I did not, but I had to make sure that our meeting proceeds in an organized fashion.
No, you are a people soldier. You are not a terrorist.
Now,
thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. The meeting is not adjourned. So now,
yes.
However, I just want, please, Honorable Mr. Kaso and Honorable Lisoma, I hope that the notes, the issues which were raised by the honorable members at the end have been noted. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.